We'll zoom in a little bit. I'm not going to talk as much today. Mostly just going to listen to music and work on this. Hopefully, OBS isn't projecting my music. That seems fine. I think that's just background noise. Otherwise, it's just going to mute. I think that's what it does. So hopefully, we're fine there. Let's find something with a more driving beat. There we go. So I left a few notes to myself. So things that are missing right now. One thing we're missing is the whole lemons aspect. We've got high quality, low quality workers. So we have lemons and peaches. But we need employers offering a wage based on some expected productivity. For the lemons, the traditional lemon store, we also have the people selling the peaches stop selling the peaches. So we could also include a reservation wage to make it so that the lemons can leave the market. Basically, we could think of this as highly productive workers. If they're getting paid $100, then they just say, you know what, I'm just going to work for myself. So let's go ahead and put reservation wage as a new workers own variable. When we create the workers, we will set reservation wage. Let's set it here. So high ability workers, set reservation wage to, let's see, they produce 150, so let's say 100. If they're getting paid less than 100, or if they're being offered less than 100, then they say, nah, I'll just work for myself. For the low ability workers, I mean, we could just leave it at 0. Let's leave it there for the time being. So the low reservation workers will just always take a job that they're offered, otherwise they'll do nothing. Let's get rid of that credentialing process for the time being. And then the signaling aspect, so that part I just commented out. That just said all high ability workers are going to have that signal immediately, which is assuming away the problem. We need workers to be able to make a decision about whether or not they pursue the credential, right? That's what's going to make it interesting. Or a lazy way to do it, less lazy than what I've got, but lazy. Different probabilities of success based on their ability. Right? So let's just say version. Let's see if Alright, that's a pretty lazy credential, but maybe we throw that in. So if we have a turtle seeking the credential, then they have some probability of getting it, low probability initially, and if they're a high ability worker, we'll increase that. And you know what, these could be on a slider. Actually, they really should be on a slider for when we run an experiment on this. So that's one possibility. Let's go ahead and put this down at the end. We'll tidy things up a little bit later. All right. So the lemons aspect. The reservation wages. Let's work on that first. That'll be easy enough to add in right here. Let's go if. Sorry, that's me doing a Vim muscle memory. Cool. All right. Turtle only. Oh. Let's make these little bastards bigger. That's a little bit better. So really getting some convergence on employer strategies. They're offering a base wage of 9. Let's see what output we can get. Let's go with mean. I think I'm dealing with profits and utilities cumulative. Yeah. Oh. Not that. Employers search for workers. Workers take their best offer or potentially work for themselves, and then we produce. We look for the workers with a job, or the workers with a job offer. Let's just kind of take a second swing at this. Let's go. So what do we do? We search for workers. The workers take the best offer, so we're going to have some self-employed workers. So I ask workers and work for myself. Okay, well actually, so what we've got is when we run take best offer, we have the self-employed workers doing their thing, so we don't need to replicate that in produce. Although it might actually be better there. Let's go ask workers with no links. Alright, self-employed workers work for themselves, workers with a job who accepted their job offer because they would have killed off all of their links, their less than best links, by the time we get to produce. If they're high ability, we set production to 150. If they're low ability, we set it to 50. These might be on sliders later too, but just so we can ask about the relative difference between high and low productivity, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. Work for myself. We just directly added to utility there. So here our utility is based on our wage for employed. It's not even a job offer, it's with a job. And then employers, their profit is the production from all their links minus the wages they pay for all the links they've got right now. Doing search for workers. Ask employers search for workers. We could just ask employers to hire one of the workers. Wonder if we can make hire apply to an agent set. Just doing a little bit of refactoring of the code right now. So it returns a Boolean. So if this condition is met, if there is not any turtles or any agents in the agent set, then we'll stop. Otherwise, there should be some agents in the agent set, and then we can turtles. This is create link with all the turtles in an agent set. Two other turtles. All right, we should be able to do that. We'll let it happen or not. This might be a problem. Employer 309. Okay. That is like I thought. So let's learn about doing a for loop. For each over an agent set, or do I want a map? And I think I really want a map. Maybe, let's see, is this going to help me? Args, commands, reporter. Reporter may be anonymous. List. Single list. Is this net logo? Nation? Python? Oh, yeah, net logo, alright. Map and reduce won't work on agent sets. I'm trying to map some stuff over an agent set. Just a list of map of. Alright. Wonder if there's a breed set. Yeah, whatever. Internal set of. That didn't help. So we want something of. No, I just want alright, you know what, I don't need to do this. I'm going down a rabbit hole and it's not helping. Adding complexity where I don't need to. But I will make it possible. Let's see, search for workers. I mean, I could just say, there, it does the same thing. So we could make it look at more than one employee at a time. 5, whatever, right? We'll just see what it does. A nice soothing green. Oh, maybe this should have been green. I'll make this a nice soothing blue. Yeah, whatever. All right. Worker utilities going up. Ooh, look at that. Worker utilities kind of going up roughly constantly. Profits. Profits are going up faster. And I think this is just the employers have found a good spot to be. They're offering -17 credential premium, but I don't think we've got anyone in here with a credential. We still need to put that in. All right. Where did we put that thing we made way back at the beginning? Credential prob version. So let's put that in for the time being. And these, by the way, should be on sliders. So right now we're just asking all of them to go to school. Okay, so there's a credential premium. Notice we've got worker utilities increasing, and then it increases, it sort of jumps up as workers start to get that credential premium. And then it kind of settles into whatever it's doing. I think I want utility to be a per period rather than a cumulative thing. That should be a slider. All right, cool. And let's do the same thing for profits. I'm going to save a copy of this just in case I don't like what I get. Where do I do the genetics? I gotta make sure. Okay, that happens after a while. Throw on that legend. That didn't help. Stop viewing the updates for a bit. Save a little bit of processor. Alright, we're getting some convergence with a negative credential premium in the world where all the workers have the credential. Ooh. You can't get rid of this credential. So, right now, we got 25 low competent workers, 25 low ability, 25 high ability, and all of them have the credential because we did that probabilistic thing where everyone's got a 10% chance at least of getting it. So after 2,500 ticks, everyone's got it. Let's slow school down a little bit. All right, so let's see. Maybe what I want is to just have them go to work, or sorry, go to school at the beginning. So during setup, we can ask workers go to school. This way we're not going to keep adding to the number in school. Oh, 48, that seems high. And go to school. As workers go to school, ask workers who don't have the credential. Oh. No, that's fine. All right, let's go, let's do it like this. Ask workers, credential prob version. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that. Let's get rid of this too. All right, we got 20 workers with a credential. Let's make the credential on sliders now. It's a little bit different. So say if else ability I'm happy with that. should, oh, whoops, that's not what I want. Let's go, let's just do a quick backup on Git. So, we set up that higher, we should get more. All right, so this will allow us to test results where there's different chances of getting the credential. So the Mike Spence paper, it was different costs of getting it. This gets us something similar, at least on average. So our max profit, let's go show employer with profit equals max profit of employers. All right, let's go. All right, so here's our most profitable employers. Profit 76. Let's look for the least profitable. Okay. Okay, that's too big. Still too big. All right, so here are our least profitable employers. I'm guessing profit is 0. So an employer is getting 0 profits. No one's losing money. These guys, I know how they're losing money. They're hiring low ability workers. Let's make a forever go button. So what we can see is the base wage is going up 42-ish. The credential premium is 38-ish. So that's their way of trying to attract the talented workers, and there's a higher chance that credential gives meaningful information. Let's make it less informative. Let's give no advantage to the high ability workers. Wow. One firm is getting 520 profit. It must mean that they've got a bunch of workers and they're getting a lot of output from them. Where do I find the bigger ones? It's what profit divided by something. Employer 105. Profit 510.63. Their credential premium is 42. Their base wage is 58. Let's go ask employer 105. Let's count links of. Links to. My links. Let's count my links. $38. This asks if they're a neighbor. Let's go ask workers with those are the workers working for the most profitable company. Let's take a look at some of them. 8. This is high ability with a credential, getting a utility of 100. So they're getting paid enough to work. Not totally convinced I'm handling utility appropriately. They get 50 if they work for themselves. So we're kind of saying if I'm not getting paid my reservation wage, I go work for myself and I go through some hassle for that, but I end up with utility of 50. Whereas if I'm getting paid a wage, I'm getting utility of that wage. Sure, yeah, we're setting the wage to the wage from the wage number held in my link. So if we look at here, whoever we're looking at, I think, yeah, here's who we're looking at. Let's look at this link. The link joining Turtle 68 to Turtle 105, the worker to the employer. Production is 150. We've got an effective worker. The worker is being paid a wage of 105.58, right? So that's their utility. The Base wage plus the credential premium means that they're paying, you know what they're doing? They're paying just enough to cover that reservation wage. So, you know what? Working for yourself, your utility should be your reservation wage. And then that way, we should see basically the productive workers are kind of on the threshold of either getting paid a little bit above 100 or working for themselves and getting paid 100. The evolutionary pressure has pushed us there. Now the base wage, 58, that's actually a little bit high, so there's still room for improvement. In any case, I like this. This is pretty cool. I do kind of want to move the workers I want their position to show us something about them. So let's get rid of that. Our high ability workers, we will set X, Y. Their X coordinate will be random X core. And can I get an absolute value of a random Y core? I want a slider there. But again, that's a future thing. Let's see. So I want to start. Is it a X core, right? Oh, that's not what I was looking for. I don't need that. I think we just directly set the Y core to something. So let's do this. Oh, is there a viewer here? Maybe it's just me. So if we set X core let's set that to 50 plus random 50. Set X core of the low ability to somewhere on the left side of the screen. And 0. So high ability, go green. With not high ability, Let's go purple. There's no such thing as purple. Brown. There we go. All right. So we've separated them. The employers are still going based on their strategy, what they're paying and what premium they're paying for the credential. So right now I've got this. So let's create the ability to turn off the credential premium. There's credential pay plus a credential. Let's not do that yet. Let's go. I'm going to make a switch called signal. So with this, without the signal, under this condition, we're not allowing the employers to pay a premium for the credential. So they're going to have some base wage. Their credential premium is just random. Oh, wow, look, we got it. We got the, I think we got the lemons. Oh, this is exciting. This is fun. So we've got some employers hiring a bunch of low ability workers whose reservation wage is 0, so they're only paying them 1. All the high ability workers are working for themselves because they're not going to work for $1. And this credential premium is totally random. So I'll turn it on in just a second, but credential premium, since it never gets implemented, they never offer a wage that includes that. These guys just say, I'm not going to work for $1. I'm just going to stay at home and work for myself. Let's turn it on and see what happens if we run it some more. So we do have 21 workers with a credential. Let's go ask workers with credential to set size to, let's set color to green. Only workers with the credential. Oh, wait. Did I have that working the way I wanted? We got a credential, so maybe these workers are getting paid something. Now let's run it some more anyways. So they're making all these offers, and that's what we're seeing during the visualization. When we hit stop going, these are the ones that are still running. So this guy's got workers over here and workers over here. The profit dropped when we turned on that signal. Ooh, and look, the pressure just pushed down. Since the only people with the credential are low success, are low ability. Okay, let's run this some more. Let's see what happens. So the signal's on. We've got some base wage. You know what we need to do? We need to maybe allow, I'm going to make the world a little bit bigger. I'm going to give it 110%. which actually I think is 121% in area terms. So we're saying to hire. We search for workers. We hire one of the workers. We create a link and we set a wage in that link based on my base wage. And if this worker, oh, here's why. All right. If the seller, the worker we're thinking about, has the credential, I'm going to change this. Let's just find all of them. It's only here. That'll make it a little easier to read the code. We're hiring a worker. We create a link to that worker. We set a wage based on the base wage, and if the worker has a credential, we add on the credential premium. But we're going to also say if signal, if we're playing the signal version, then we do this stuff. Otherwise, we don't. So if that signal switch is set, the signal switch is set, and if the worker has a credential, then the wage the employer offers is this base wage plus the credential premium of the employer. Yeah, that's why I didn't do worker. Let's fix this the hard way. That should be fine. All right. That's a little bit better than seller. All right. And I still want the workers to show their utility. So let's go and ask workers to set Y-core to their own utility level. So here's a bunch getting 100. These are the self-employed. I think this guy must be negative utility. $157. Again, I'm not totally sure about how I'm managing the utility. All right, so we got our credential premium. That's right. I also wanted to allow the credential premium. Right now it's a random between 0 and 100, but there could be some upward pressure. All right. I think that'll be fine. I think that makes enough sense that I'm willing to delete that comment. But I do have an implicit assumption built in here, or I'm starting from a particular point in the possible parameter space. So kind of what I'm worried about is maybe I but maybe I expect to see a base wage close to 0 to get the low-skilled workers, and then a premium of a little more than 100 to get the high-skilled workers. And we're starting with an expected value of 50-50 for both. Let's start the base wage a little bit higher. Make it 105. So maybe we get a random high wage. I'm going to delete that plot. That's not what I wanted. Whatever. I'll clean this up later. Just gonna cram a new plot in there. So I've got utility, I've got profit. What I really want is a histogram of base wage of employers. Actually, I don't need that. Well, you know what? I think I'm hitting diminishing marginal returns now. So let's stop here. We've got the ability to turn the signal on and off. We've got the ability to change this. So the next thing to do is to fiddle around with stuff and run experiments. But let's start that with a fresh set of eyes.